Hello, sweet love, and welcome to this yoga class for cramps and PMS. Perhaps you are going through some heavy sensations right now, and this class is really aimed to help you soothe and nourish your body wherever you are in your cycle. With that being said, it will be mostly focused obviously around our period and just before. And I really hope this nourishes you in the way that you need right now. Whenever you feel ready, I invite you to come into a diamond pose in a seated position. That is where we will start off today. And I invite you to look around in your space, to notice what is with you here. And if there's anything you feel like you can do to make yourself just a little more comfortable, then take a moment to do so. Then let's start here together by taking 3 cleansing breaths. Inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling with a sigh. Deep inhale through your nose and a cleansing breath out through the mouth. Sigh it out. Another deep inhale through your nose, lengthening, and exhale, cleanse and sigh it out. Perhaps from there you would like to close your eyes for just a moment. And maybe you would like to place both of your hands on or around your womb space. And from this space, set an intention for today's class, your sankalpa. And maybe that intention is finding some rest. Maybe it's connecting to your cycle. And maybe it's something totally different. But whatever it is, I invite you to repeat it to yourself 3 times, like a mantra. And whenever you feel ready, I invite you to slowly, if you can, place both hands behind you with your fingers pointing towards the end of your mat. And you can gently bring your knees a little further apart. And then softly and slowly, we will start one by one, lifting up each hip. Maybe first starting by pressing your left hip forward and up, following by your right hip forward and up. Lengthening and deepening your breath while you do this. Simply continuing this movement and noticing how this feels within your hips, your quads, maybe even your back, the opening of your heart, as we're making space here for our blood to flow. Then taking one more deep inhale and exhale here. And then you can softly come up again, allowing your hands to come back to your upper legs. From there, you can allow your hands to slide onto the mat forward until you find a child's pose. But you have the option here to lift up your right hand and bring it underneath the left arm for an extra shoulder opening and also a little twist to perhaps perhaps help with easing the cramps. I invite you to take 3 deep breaths here, landing in this pose. We are going to stay here for a moment. And with these breaths, perhaps on your inhale, really breathing in this love towards your womb. And on your exhale, sighing out or breathing out any frustration or sensations that you might feel and you don't want to have with you any longer. If you had your right arm underneath your left, you can gently change your left arm now underneath your right. Taking 3 more breaths here, in and out. And from there, you can slowly come up, placing your hands underneath your shoulders, coming into this tabletop position. If it feels right for you, which it usually does for me during my bleed or in the time just before, I like to have my knees a little wider and even my hands a little more in front of my shoulders. So see what you want and need right now. It's just an option. And from there, seeing if we can find some hip circles here, really starting at our tailbone. Coming from our tailbone, maybe easing into these bigger circles, and at some point maybe even allowing the arms to move with that, bending in to the front and the back. And then maybe slowly changing direction to the other side. See how small or big you want to make this movement. Then on your next exhale, I invite you to lower all the way down onto your belly. And then to gently place your hands to the sides of your mats in front of you. And on an inhale, we're going to press up in these Cobra waves to look up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up. And exhale, lower down. On your next inhale option, look up to the left. A little twist. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, look up to the right. Exhale, lower down. One more inhale up. And exhale down. Then from there, placing your hands next to your chest again. And finding your way back to a tabletop position. From here, on an inhale, I invite you to slowly start placing your right foot forward next to the outside of your right hand. And then follow with your left foot until you find yourself in a Malasana Yogi squat. If your heels are lifted, that's totally okay. Maybe allowing your elbows to come to the insides of the knees, pressing them out, lengthening, opening your heart, your chest, opening that pelvic floor, really allowing space for release here. And with this time of our cycle where we release our blood, it can also be a time for introspection, looking at what's within and what may be released from inside of us, maybe mentally, spiritually, what doesn't serve us any longer. So maybe whilst we stay here for just 3 more breaths, meeting yourself here and seeing what wants to be released. Then slowly from here, extending your arms forward. And then as gently as you can, finding a seat down. Don't worry if it didn't go as softly. It's okay to have a laugh around these things. And then from here, maybe if you have a block, you want to use that, or a pillow. There's no need to, we can do it without. We're gonna find a straddle position, straddle pose. And for that, for the ones who have very tight groin, like I do, it can be really nice to place a block underneath your buttocks. Open the legs wide. Taking a deep breath in, lengthening. And then on an exhale, allowing to gently come forward. Taking 3 soothing breaths in and out here. As you might have noticed, we are really working on opening up the legs, the hips, the groin area, the belly, a little twist here and there, because these are all things that not only soothe cramps, but also help to release our bleed more. And sometimes what can happen is that it stagnates a little, and that's okay, it's a natural process of life. But through this, the release of the blood might ease the pain you feel. And for me, even this pose with having such a tight groin, it is really one that I allow myself to breathe into. It takes a moment. So feeling what I need and maybe doing a little less. So perhaps for you too, can you do a little less? And allow yourself to soften here, to surrender to your body. Taking 3 more restorative breaths here. And then from here, maybe taking the block away from underneath you if you have one. Otherwise, helping your knees and legs to come back together. Maybe finding a little bend into the knees. Perhaps placing your hands behind you for just a moment. And then allowing your knees to fall from left to right. Finding some windshield wipers here. loosening the legs and checking in with yourself how small or big you would like to make this movement. And then slowly releasing this movement and finding center again. And then rolling back onto the mat. Allowing your feet to be on the mat. And from there, allowing them to unfurl and open to the sides as we land into our reclined butterfly pose. Seeing whether you want the feet a little further away from you or a little closer to you to intensify. But again, the question is, can we do less? Can we listen and surrender to our bleed? Taking 3 more nourishing breaths here. Placing your hands on the outside of your legs, helping them to come back together. And from here, maybe that you want to bring your knees into your chest for a moment, finding some circles on your lower back. Then floating the feet back onto the mat. And from here we will find our final asana of today, our twisted roots. If you have your own variation that you like, please feel free to enjoy so. Otherwise, extending your arms to the side with the palms facing up. Then lifting up your right leg over the left. And then allowing the knees to fall towards the left side. If you need any props below the knees, that's totally fine. It's also okay if they float a little. If this feels too intense, then you can always allow the knees to gently be on top of each other rather than placing the right leg over the left. If you want to intensify it a little more, then looking over towards your right shoulder, your right arm, and taking 3 deep breaths here. One more deep breath in and out. And then at your own pace, changing the side. Allowing your knees to come over to the right, looking over the left shoulder. And again, taking 3 deep breaths here. This twisted roots pose to me always feels like a transformative pose. Transformation embodied. As this really helps with our digestive system, especially when we move from the knees first to the left and then to the right. But also because through this movement and the blood circulation, it is a pose that is well known to help against cramps. And whenever I lie in this pose, I keep on coming back to the question of what wants to be transformed inside me as my inner fire is turned on with this asana. The fire, the element of transformation. Because whatever is put into the fire can never come out in the same way again. So what wants to be transformed inside of you? What wants to find a new form? Taking a final soft breath here. And then finding your own way out. Seeing if there's any other movement that your body is longing for right now. Before we enter into our final resting pose, our Savasana. Then extending your legs with your toes and feet as wide as the mat, pointing out to the side so that your hips can relax. And your hands can be just a little away from your body with your palms facing up so your shoulders can relax. And then your chin slightly tucked in towards your chest so the back of your neck can relax. Taking 3 more grounding breaths here. And with every breath, letting your body become heavier and heavier, seeping into the earth, into your mat, like water nourishing the soil, coming home. And noticing your womb space, bringing your awareness to her. What do you wish to tell her? And is there anything she wishes to tell you? And as you listen, gently finding some tiny movements in your fingertips, fingers and hands, your feet, maybe stretching yourself tall or curling up into a little ball. Then folding over onto your left side, hugging yourself, holding yourself, thanking yourself for showing up, for your body, your spirit, your womb. And whenever you're ready, finding your way back to a seated position. On an inhale, bring your arms up and above. Exhale, hands to the forehead for clear and loving thoughts. And hands to the heart for clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth for clear and loving communication. Sending out wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. I celebrate you, sweet love. Making time for your sacred blade. Namaste. If this video helped you, please let us know by giving it a like, comment and share it with a loved one, or perhaps on your social media. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. These little things make a very big difference to us. May every day become a chance to ritualize your life.